Hello, this is Paul Bierman with the Holy Grail of Poker, and this is a tutorial video on the play function. So we're on the play tab now, and we're on Ring Games. I can click this button, this tab, and switch to tournaments, which are just like Ring Games, except the blinds go up a certain portion of the time. And one thing to note about these tournaments is they're all winner-take-all tournaments. The artificial intelligence for tournaments in which second place and third place get a portion of the prize pool is not complete. So today, winner-take-all tournaments and Ring Games. So we'll stay here on the Ring Game tab because everything else is the same. And when I change from one table to the next, you can see the opponents change here. And I can change the opponent sitting at the table there. I can click this button and change some information about the opponents or double click on them, but that's for another video called Manage Players. We'll go over some of these statistics, or you can mouse over them as well and see what they mean. And these are the two most difficult tables, not too creatively called Toughest Full Ring and Toughest 6 Max. And you'll notice that the statistics are not applicable here. And the reason is they have a strategy, a set strategy to play great poker, and that will adjust to you and your style as they learn more about you. And they'll also adjust based on what stacks you give them. So Bill here with $250 is going to play tighter pre-flop than Donkey is with $2,000, at least when they're playing against you with $1,500. So if you wanted to just set them all to the same stack size, I had 1,500 there, and I click Set All Balances to 1,500. And it's reminding me that I need to save those changes or cancel them before I can do anything else. So these buttons won't work until I cancel them or save them. So we don't want you accidentally messing up a table that you spent time creating. If I want to create a table, I can do that and change who's sitting at the table and change the balances and so on and so forth. And I'll cancel that. And so let's go play this table. And we'll show you, I can size the table however I want. I can get more space for more information here if I want the hand number or some other information. And then here, for instance, is the hand rankings. And if you already know all of that, then you can go up here and say, I don't want to see the hand rankings anymore, and they'll go away. And here's the advice screen. You can choose to have the advice showing. Here, everyone's folded to us in the small blind, and the advice here is to raise to $30. One thing I want to note about having the advice screen open or closed, right now, the default is to save all hands so that later we can generate reports for Hero and we can see how we play. Now, if I play with this advice screen open, and I'm just following the advice, I may play differently than if the advice screen is closed. So if you want to, you can go up here and say only import, and it says import, it also means save, only save the hands when the advice is hidden. So I could select that if I wanted to. And let's say I can right click on her hand and peek at her cards if I want. I can change her cash balance or change who she is and so on and so forth there. And so let's play a hand. So I'm going to call so that, and I cheated and peeked at her hand, and she has nothing. Now she has a straight draw. So anyway, the advice here is to check most of the time and bet bluff some of the time. So we'll check and see what she does. Okay, so she checks, and that's surprising because the vast majority of the time she would bet with her straight draw there, but she's mixing up her play. And so now we still have nothing. But now, since she's shown weakness, the advice is to bluff a little more frequently here. And so we can we can do that. So we'll, since we know what she has, we'll bluff her out of the hand with, she should be folding now. And if I want, I can go up here and play with everyone's cards showing. And this is an interesting learning tool because you can see I've got, we're playing against our best opponents here, best pre-flop and post-flop advice. So we'll be able to see them all play pretty good, and this person's going to raise and they'll fold. And I also am showing the heads-up display here. So against G Money, we played 112 hands, and here's the frequency with which he's raised 16% of the hands, and he's only played 16%. And these, as we play more hands against these players, they'll converge on what they're more conventionally going to play. And after a time, if Blur continues to have a short stack, you'll see him play tighter than someone who's deep stacked, and most of the time playing against deep stacked opponents. And then I can go up here and say, well, I want to play regular, and I don't want to see the heads-up display, and some other options like that. Now let's play a hand post-flop because I want to show you some of the post-flop advice. So here we have nothing, and the advice here is to check 93% of the time and to bluff a small portion of the time. And here's what we should infer Donkey has, our best opponent, based on her statistics and what's happened in the hand so far, and how the hands that she likely has, relate to the hands on the board. So I can check, and we'll see this information get updated. So now she bets. So now it's more likely she has something. Not a lot more likely, because she continuation bets a large portion of the time. So it's not a huge difference in what she has, because, even if she has nothing, she's going to bet a reasonable portion of the time here. So now the advice here is to fold 100% of the time. We don't have anything, and we really don't have any way to improve. And she's shown a lot of strength so far. So even though there's a 46% chance she probably has nothing, she still has us beat with most of that nothing. So we should fold. And we can go back and replay some of these prior hands, and that have been saved up here. That's all I have for you for the play function. The exciting thing is, if you can beat these guys over time, now you'll need to play 10 or 20 or 30,000 hands to really know if you're beating them or not. But if you can beat them, then you can make a nice living, or reasonable living, playing online poker. And you should do exceedingly well in card rooms if you can beat these guys. Hope you enjoy it.